Yo, what is going on, guys? Winner Kills here, and welcome to a brand new locals feature match. Here we are in round 2 for the week. We've got Despia / Brandon Shaddoll on the left versus Tri-Lyrilusc on the right. Let's go ahead and hop right into this match here. Also, while we do that, let's take a look at the poll results. Ask you guys who you thought was going to win this particular matchup. And just shy of 2,000 votes. Looks like you guys voted heavily for Despia Shaddoll. Let's see if you guys are correct. We will see him lead with a branded fusion is going to be negated by Ash. And we'll see our Shaddoll player set a Super Poly, an El Shaddoll, and what looked to be an El Shaddoll, or not El Shaddoll, a Shaddoll Hedgehog with, I think, another branded fusion in the hand. So only one way to play there, which is rather unfortunate. Ash being very, very good against the branded fusion. And we're going to see our Tri-Lyrilusc player lead with Bird Call. To go ahead and add the Warbler. And then we're going to see him pitch Fractal. So yeah, Bird Call plus Fractal. Really, really strong opening for this deck. Those that know, that is like their full combo basically with Utopic Draco. Appaloosa, Revolts, right? Really, really strong board here. Definitely be able to crack this board if there are no interruptions. Super Poly, I don't see being too problematic into this board. Maybe sucking up the Utopic Draco because it is a light monster, but outside of that, I don't really see too much opportunity here to actually go ahead and use a Super Poly. I know some of the branded fusions require like lighter dark monsters or like Fusion, Synchro, Link, or Xyz, I think, to get into. Hence why Super Poly is really strong in this deck, but he needs to have, I think, at least a branded or Despia monster somewhere involved in that, summoning requirement. So we'll see him go for the Starling. Starling's going to go ahead and search out the Sapphire Swallow. We'll see him summon the Swallow and the Nerval alongside it. So really, really solid opening here so far. And one thing I wanted to mention earlier is we saw that branded fusion get shut down. A lot of people are always kind of taken back by Fusion's abilities, Fusion spells' abilities to be able to send from deck. More and more iterations of things like Shaddoll Fusion, because I think that was probably one of the first really meta-relevant Fusion spells that let you send from deck. Yes, there was a requirement you had to meet. Your opponent had to control a monster summoned from the extra deck, and that really wasn't that hard to meet. But now we're seeing cards like Fusion Destiny and Branded Fusion that don't have that requirement, right? And it's actually just absurd. They've power crept one of the strongest fusion spells, at least I've seen in my Yu-Gi-Oh career. But it's a blessing and a curse that it can send from deck, especially with the advent of Ash Blossom. A lot of these fusion spells that normally wouldn't be able to be hand trapped otherwise now can just be outright stopped by Ash, even if you aren't sending from the deck, just because it simply says that it can. So I guess it's a good thing that they can send from deck now in modern Yu-Gi-Oh, because it's now something you want to go ahead and hit frame one with Ash. So we're going to see him go into the Blue Robin, since obviously a second Starling is not an option. And then we're going to see him go into the Utopic Future, and then into Draco. Of course, he'll get the search off of Nerval, which I believe it was a kit. Also has Bearbrum out onto the field as well. And it looks like we might see an interaction here from our Shaddoll Despia player. We will see that Super Poly discarding the other branded fusion, sucking up Utopic Draco and Hedgehog for a copy of El Shaddoll Construct. Chainlink 1 Construct, Chainlink 2 Hedgehog. So we'll go and add a Shaddoll monster here and send a Shaddoll card from deck to grave. And we'll see what he decides to add and then send. Aerial here being looked at. And yeah, being able to banish 3 from the grave is going to be kind of strong. That'll remove a lot of the fodder that he needs in his grave to be able to make more Tri-Brigade plays. So we'll see him most likely send Aerial here. Looks like he will add Wendy and then send the Aerial. He does have also a El Shaddoll Fusion set. So he could possibly make... I was going to say, he can't make Winda right now because he has a light and a wind, because I don't believe Wendy is a dark monster. So Winda is not an option currently, although I feel like he could have set up a Winda. But his opponent has not normal summoned yet, and yeah, any Winda play right here is going to be easily outed. Unless he doesn't have 4 to banish after the aerial. Not sure how much left is in his graveyard. He could also make double Dragon Lords too. That would also out it. And you only need 2 for that. So, yeah. Easily outable. And the only other Shaddoll I think he could go into that would be of any impact right now would probably be the Apkalone for that negation. And then also triggering both his Construct and his Wendy to spec 1 from deck and then add 1 back. So we'll see our Tri-Brigade player actually activate Bearbrum, discarding 2, an Imperm, and a Barrel Canary to revive a Tri-Brigade monster that is banished. Which is an effective Bearbrum we don't really see too often, or at least we never really saw at all about a year ago, and I feel like it's becoming much more commonplace. Getting a lot more value out of Bearbrum as a, the really strong card that it already is. And that's just going to bring back Fractal. And also give him another name in graveyard to be able to banish. So we're going to see him banish 2 off of Kit. Barrel and Warbler. And we'll see him go for the DDL. And still no El Shaddoll fusion yet from our Despia Shaddoll player. And we'll see what the play here is going to be. Could go for Appaloosa. Could go for Rugal. I feel like Rugal will probably be the play. We'll see him link off Bear and Kit. Looking at Rugal here, yeah. I was going to say, you could go for the Appaloosa, but then at that point he loses the Fractal, which he has not used his on-field effect yet. You can definitely get more value out of that. And he's going to go ahead and trigger Kit and Bearbrum here to go ahead and add Revolts. And then we'll see him go ahead and send off of the Kit. And he went ahead and put back the other card on the bottom of his deck and then sent. So I'm assuming it was like 2 Bear, 1 Kit. And then we're going to see him activate Fractal here. And in response, we're going to see him chain El Shaddoll Fusion. And then we're going to see him chain double Dragon Lords, bouncing back the Construct, making him unable to resolve the El Shaddoll Fusion since he no longer has 2 Shaddoll monsters to use. And he'll lose his Fractal, but Fractal is still able to resolve completely, even though it's not on the field anymore. Summoning out Shureg, and has 1600, 3k, and 2300 damage in total there, putting his opponent down to 1100 with a set Revolt. So, yeah, he can summon a Shureg from the extra deck, and then he still has the other Shureg on field banish effect. And he has double Dragon Lord, so not looking too good here for our Despia Shaddoll player. We're going to see him normal summon Fallen of Albaz. And I believe that has an effect on summon, where it can fuse using cards from the opponent's side of the field as well. And it looks like we're just going to see double Dragon Lords bounce it back, making it again unable to resolve. And then that is going to be it. That is going to be the end of Game 1. And we are into Game 2. Tri-Lyrilusc taking that one rather swiftly. Ashing Branded Fusion is pretty good, turns out. Just as good as Ashing Shaddoll Fusion was. We'll see him start Branded Fusion again, Game 2. And there's the Ash, a second time in a row. We're going to see him normal summon the new Kit monster. Which, actually don't know the name of this one. I know it's Kit, but it's just like a different version of Kit. I'm going to go ahead and try to pull this up really quickly. Yeah, this is Spriggan's Kit, I believe. It says if you have a fusion monster that lists Fallen of Albaz as a material on your field or in your graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add one of your branded spells / traps that is banished or in your deck or graveyard to your hand. Then place 1 card from your hand on the bottom of the deck. So he'll attempt to grab back the Branded Fusion, I imagine, for next turn. But that's going to be met with Imperm. And that will, force him to pass turn. I see a Nibiru in hand. But outside of that, I don't see any other interruptions. And we're going to see Bird Call. And does he have the Fractal again? Literally opening almost identical here in Game 2. that one's got to hurt a little bit if you're the Despia Shaddoll player. Yeah, he's just really, really lucky here to open up that almost same hand. 1, 2, 3 cards, almost exactly the same. We're going to see him grab the Nerval here off of the Sparrow, Cobalt Sparrow. And yeah, it looks like our Despia Shaddoll player, I think, has what looks to be either a Falco or a Dragon in hand alongside another Fallen of Albaz. And the Nibiru here is only going to be so helpful because it's basically just going to get forced out by the combo that's taking place right now. Because he'll have to use Nibiru before he summons Utopic Draco. But at that point, he's still yet to use his normal summon and extender in the form of Karass, which is going to give him so much value. So we're going to see the Starling add the Wagtail. Then we'll see him summon Sapphire with Wagtail. And then we're going to see Wagtail add a copy of Bird Call as follow-up. And then we're going to see him go for probably the Ensemble Robin. Definitely probably prefer to go to a second Starling, but obviously that is no longer an option. Then we're going to see him go for Robin, attaching one from Grave. And honestly, like, that even alone, just 3 bounces right there is really solid. But he will overlay the 2 rank 1s into Utopic Future. There is Nibiru. You have to Nibiru there, otherwise it'll be too late. And then he'll just go ahead and grab the token here. But again, we still have Tri-Brigade normal summons and the extender in of Karass. I think they're just calculating the stats right there. Although I believe Utopic Future has 0 attack. So I think it's literally just the stats of Kit. Springin's Kit. So we're going to see him normal summon Nerval. And if there is a good time to have a second hand trap, now would be the time. But it looks like he does not, as we know. And yep, he's going to go ahead and banish 4. Already banishing the Nibiru. And see him link off the Shureg here, getting that extra value here since he's going second, be able to remove the Nibiru and also link it off and act as an extender. Going for Farigit. He'll resolve the effect of both Nerval and Shureg here. He'll go ahead and search a copy of Karass and then search another Barrel Canary. And yeah, Barrel Canary on its own is already just really, really good follow-up. We'll see him special summon Karass off the effect of the Baron Blossom. We're going to see him banish 2 here. Probably going to go for Bear. And I was going to say, he probably has a way to OTK here, but I honestly don't think he needs to OTK this turn. He could honestly just swing with what he has right here. Or if he can use Bear Brum to actually bring back Shureg, which you can't. It has to be a level 4 lower. I was going to say, if you could bring back Shureg, that'd be insane. That'd just pile on a ton of damage here. But this is going to turn into Appaloosa with 3 materials and a Revolt. And now we're going to see him activate Bear's second effect, bringing back Fractal, pitching Bird Call, and one other card. I couldn't tell what it was there. Another spell card, though. Oh, a Pot of Prosperity. Deciding he's probably not going to need that here. And you can go for the DDL too at this point. So DDL plus Appo for 3 and then Revolt. So yeah, I don't think there's any way that is getting outed. Just negate the Albaz with the Appo and then Revolt anything else on top of that. And you also have DDL. So Tri-Lyrilusc taking that one rather quickly in a 2-0. If you guys want to see more of my content, check out one of the videos popping up on the bottom of the screen right now. And last but not least, a huge shout out goes to our Divine level channel members, and they are Tweeter0226, Ponystart, Cadillacs84, Keith Sidgers, and Justin Lamb. Thank you guys so much as always for your extremely kind and generous support of the channel.